Stand at ease, stand easy. I want to thank, on behalf of the school, the very fine person who succeeded in scratching the rails down at the end of the, in the stairwell near the tuck shop. I think that's appreciated by everybody. This place has been looked after very well, except this year. I want to thank also those individuals who spent their time grinding chalk into that stairwell. Very nice to know that that's the reaction. I want to thank the 6th year, or those people particularly in the senior school who have their lunch down in the back, in the number 3 playground, for the way in which they litter it. Of course, when you get that example from the senior school, you can expect this sort of vandalism anywhere. Whether there's athletics this afternoon or not, there'll be a full assembly on the quadrangle here, and a final roll call. And it looks as though there'll have to be a clean-up. And those rooms which the senior school use have to be carefully cleaned. I want to thank particularly the senior folk also for the way in which they've disfigured the new blinds. The acorns have just disappeared. Of course, it's not your property, it's public property. Therefore, you can knock it about and make it difficult for other people to live in. I want to thank the people, particularly, again, the senior school, for the way in which the furniture has been knocked about. As I say, this school has deteriorated badly. And this is the end of the 2nd term. I want to thank those people who acted at the switchboard on play nights for the way in which they took the screws out of the switchgear. That piece of vandalism is just plain disgraceful. Those are a few things that I want to mention. Of course, in this school, you don't do as you're told, you don't look after things at all. But the teachers are supposed to just run around after you. Now, there's a clean-up, and it has to be a clean-up at 6th period today. And there'll be a thorough check, because if there is untidiness in any room or in any corridor, then you'll stay here until such time as you are dismissed after school. Finally, the chalk is supplied for the members of the teaching staff and not for you. And if a teacher leaves it at the blackboard, it's to remain at the blackboard. Finally, I do not want to commend you particularly for the general conduct and reports of conduct. I haven't been able to investigate this, I've kept this quiet. But there's a certain group of people who go down Edwards Road to the railway line and walk along the railway line every afternoon. That is to cease. That's a trespass of railway property, and it's a danger to yourself and an upset to train passengers. I intended to find those people and deal with them, but I haven't had the time. And finally, halfway through 6th period, that is at 20 to 2, I want to see 5th form in the hall. it's necessary to give them certain instructions, because quite a lot of the people who should have been there last night were not there. Of course, it's very nice to follow sixth form's example. As I say, a teacher is only a person to run around. And then people are growling and will growl at me, and your parents will come to me and say, "We didn't know." I'm not appreciative of the cooperation I'm getting. School, attention.